fine. Send it through.
Okay.
We'll see what we find.
Okay. I'll come through to you now. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
We're on our way now to a Card 36 call, or in other words, a suspected coronavirus case. A person who says that their chest feels like they're on fire and also has flu-like symptoms. So the consensus here is that it could well be a coronavirus case. So we're going to go and see how they're doing at the moment.
I can't rule out this patient doesn't have COVID. There were symptoms consistent with a COVID sort of diagnosis, but there were also...
So there's a call just come in, apparently a reported COVID breach, up to 40 people going to the back of a restaurant or pub where the shutters are actually down in the Grangetown area of the city. So we're only about 5 minutes away, so we're going to go and have a look, see if there is actually a breach taking place.
It looks closed, but the report says people going in the back. There's plastic covering the glass, you can't see in.
Where I'm stood here in the Llysafran Reservoir in Pembrokeshire, I would normally be many feet underwater. In fact, the balcony that you can see just behind me, that is normally where the water would be up to. However, that is clearly not the case, despite some rain that we've had in the last week. And it's
Come on, Cymru!
Come on, Cymru!
Come on, Cymru!
Well, there really is an unmistakable buzz here at Cardiff Airport this morning. Not from the planes, though, from football fans. And that can only mean one thing, that Wales are once again playing in an international tournament. Now, despite both the Welsh and UK governments advising against flying out to support the team, it hasn't stopped dozens of the Red Wall hopping on a chartered flight this morning and having to part with thousands of pounds each to do so. What you can see behind me is 2,000 beds being built at the Principality Stadium, or at least what used to be the Principality Stadium. Now it will be known as the Dragon's Heart Hospital. This hospital in particular already has capacity for up to 350 patients. Now, no patients have actually been admitted here just yet, but we're told that they're just waiting for that call. Well, exactly 1 year ago today, I was stood in this very building as the first jabs were given out across the UK and indeed the world. And you can still feel the excitement here as we marvel at a modern-day medical miracle. The COVID jab was the first sucker punch in the fight against the virus, and to date more than 5.5 million vaccines have been given out in Wales alone. Thank you, First Minister. Good afternoon to you. People in Wales are now facing another Christmas period with harsher restrictions than over the border in England, despite having lower case rates. Now, obviously, your approach compared to Boris Johnson's is very different, and simply put, you can't both have the correct approach here because of it being so different. So do you think that people in Wales have a right to feel hard done by with these added measures?
I think people in Wales will feel that everything is being done on their behalf.
There are concerns that supply chains in the food sector in particular are being badly hit. Reporting for LBC Live, Daniel Bevan.
Well, Eddie, we're all familiar with the term pingdemic. Last week alone, more than 500,000 people were asked by the NHS app to self-isolate for up to 10 days. Numbers like that are bound to have a big difference in the workforce, and we're beginning to see that now. There is no sign of the aircraft pilot or passenger. He goes on to say later on in the statement that the chances of survival are extremely remote. As you can see, we're here at the Cardiff City Stadium in front of the Fred Keane statue, and there are plenty of tributes who have been laid over the last couple of days. They've actually extended the gates here. They're expecting a lot more people since this news has just broken. Universal basic income is a simple but controversial economic theory. Broadly speaking, it's the idea that everyone gets a fixed fee from the state regularly, regardless of your financial status or whether you're in work. Now the Welsh Government are planning on piloting a version of it, which would see young care leavers given enough money to live off. Mark Drakeford, the First Minister of Wales, says that UBI is a concept he's been interested in for decades.
I want to see whether it works. I'm open-minded to the fact that it might not work.
David Henderson's wife wept in court, but he remained visibly calm, wearing a blue suit and tie as he was handed his sentence. Henderson was told that he had a cavalier attitude and that he'd showed a wholesale disregard for the aviation regulations. More than 240 volunteers have been involved in this rescue operation as it enters its third day. Now, we're told that they're making good progress, but that this is a complex and challenging rescue.